We're going to go ahead and get started now. So on behalf of the Institute for Sustainability, Energy, and the Environment, it is my pleasure to welcome everyone to the 2022 Campus Sustainability Celebration. I'm Jennifer Frattarigo. I'm Associate Director for Campus Sustainability at iSEE, and I'm thrilled to see so many of you in attendance to celebrate the accomplishments of our students, faculty, staff, and community. I'm standing in today for Madhu Khanna, Director of iSEE, who unfortunately is not feeling well, so she won't be able to celebrate with us today. But again, thank you for coming, and thank you to those of you who are tuning in online. So I'd like to start by welcoming Meredith Moore, iSEE Sustainability Program Manager, who will kick off the event by reading the Land Acknowledgement Statement.
Thank you. As a land-grant institution, the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign has a responsibility to acknowledge the historical context in which it exists. In order to remind ourselves and our community, we will begin this event with the following statement. We are currently on the lands of the Peoria, Kaskaskia, Piankashaw, Wea, Miami, Mascoutin, Odawa, Sauk, Muskogee, Kickapoo, Potawatomi, Ojibwe, and Chickasaw nations. It is necessary for us to acknowledge these Native nations and for us to work with them as we move forward as an institution. We aim to be a vibrant community inclusive of all of our differences, with Native peoples at the core of our efforts. I'm also excited to highlight that this event is both a zero waste event, so be sure to put all food waste and napkins in the green compost receptacle, and then it's also a green certified event. So thank you again, and back to you, Jen.
Meredith. So Campus Sustainability Month, and particularly the annual Campus Sustainability Celebration, is a great time to acknowledge and commend all of the great work and campus-wide participation to make the U of I a visible model of sustainability. I want to first take this moment to thank you again for attending today and for your passion to make this campus more sustainable. And thank you to the hundreds of people who've worked diligently to contribute their ideas and hard work, especially our iCAP team members. I'm proud to serve as an Associate Director of iSEE, the University of Illinois Front Porch of Sustainability. The Institute for Sustainability, Energy, and the Environment's threefold mission includes research, education, and campus sustainability. iSEE and Facilities and Services work together to creatively develop and implement campus sustainability initiatives across campus. Today, we will hear from our administrators, students, faculty, and staff about some of our most notable achievements, the progress we have made in support of the Illinois Climate Action Plan objectives, and the work we have ahead of us, importantly. Our iCAP teams have made great steps forward, and we love seeing the collaborative nature of these members and the many departments represented here today. We're excited to showcase several campus sustainability projects and programs, as well as highlighting upcoming initiatives and iCAP priorities. We're now into the third year of the current Illinois Climate Action Plan. iCAP 2020 is our campus strategic sustainability plan to achieve carbon neutrality as soon as possible and to build resilience to climate change alongside our local community. It is a holistic plan to increase the culture of sustainability and expand sustainable practices within the many sectors touched by the university, including academic curricula, energy, land and water use, waste, and transportation. We are proud of our many successes in the past few years. In the spring, we earned STARS Gold status from the Association for the Advancement of Sustainability in Higher Education. Yay! We also earned special recognition for our NRES 285 Student iCAP Ambassador course, as well as for Solar Farm 2.0. We are now striving for platinum status, which only a handful of schools have achieved. We will soon hear from some of our sustainability staff and iCAP team representatives to highlight some of our notable achievements. I'm excited that we have decreased our energy use intensity by nearly 40% since 2008. And nearly 60% of our buildings have received new 3-stream waste bins from Facilities and Services. We are also working toward a zero waste event at the November 14 men's basketball game at the State Farm Center in conjunction with America Recycles Day. So we hope you'll all be willing to pitch in and participate once we have more details. To all of you, we are so appreciative of your hard work and advocacy. It has been instrumental to our success and will be vital in the future as we continue this great progress. Our institutional commitment to sustainability permeates through our research and education mission. Please check out the iSEE website for information about upcoming events and programs, both in the coming weeks during Campus Sustainability Month and beyond. And with that, it is my pleasure to introduce Chancellor Jones.
Well, let me start by saying good afternoon. I know we're a small number, but we can be mightier than that in our response to a good afternoon. So good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you so much. Let me start by saying thank you to Dr. Khanna and to Jen, and particularly for convening this great conversation and this celebration. I think you all would agree that this is a critically important topic, and the work that we've done collectively over the years is absolutely critically important. So I want to, first of all, thank you for joining us today on behalf of all of us here at the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign. So please accept our gratitude both individually and collectively for the work that we're doing together to move us toward a more sustainable future as a university. I think it goes without saying our campus really does take the work of sustainability very seriously, and for very good reasons. Let's go back and reflect on the fact that we start all of our events with the land acknowledgement statement that you heard just a moment ago. This is part of our responsibility, we believe, to uphold the relationships that exist between Native people and these lands that we now call the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign. We fundamentally believe that we must embrace this mission of respecting and the responsibility for using our resources wisely. I think these commitments are spelled out very clearly as well in our Illinois Climate Action Plan. And I think any of you that have had the opportunity to read that would agree that some of the goals and some of the very, very ambitious goals that we're set, they're ambitious, they're bold, and they are actually pushing us and requiring us to think and to reimagine a number of traditional ways of doing things. So it's not just thinking, but it's causing us hopefully to act differently as well. And I want to be very, very clear that we're not just setting these very high bars and pursuing them simply because they make good talking points. But the Chancellor, as he or she moves across the state and across the nation, these are really an important checklist. The iCAP goals are an important checklist that are really the checklist that drives and measures our commitment and the impact of the work that we're doing. So it really is a statement of institutional responsibility and institutional values. It's a statement of our commitment to be more resilient and more adaptable and more competitive as a university in every aspect. And so we are certainly going to become even more of a leading example in this space than we ever had before in the history of this university. And thanks to the active participation and the engagement of students, faculty, and staff and community members, we have no shortage of great examples to point to, and we continue to look forward to the implementation of more sustainable initiatives from our iCAP team and others, including the Campus Landscape Master Planning, the Electric Vehicle Task Force, as well as our Sustainable Land Management Committee, just to name a few of the big ideas. And these are not the only ideas. I did ask you just to stay tuned. We're going to be putting a big, bold stake in the ground as it relates to this issue as we think about our next level of strategic planning. So Just wait, within a few weeks or so, you're going to hear more about what we plan to do to not just be considered to be a university that also has programs and great initiatives. What we're going to be rolling out for is going to be a game changer. It's going to make sure that the sum of the parts and all the excellent stuff we do are greater than the sum of the parts. It is synergy plus, let's put it that way, because we have a responsibility as a land-grant university to be really good stewards of the resources, but to also become a leader in this space, and we can't wait to share our big vision and our goals and objectives in this regard. So I'm very, very proud of what our university has accomplished, and I know that we're in good hand for future endeavors, and we recognize that we're in a climate emergency and that there are many challenges and a tough road ahead of us. So it is fitting that our campus future students and faculty and staff and others from around the world start to think more progressively and much more innovatively about finding solutions to all of these grand challenges. And we are absolutely prepared to tackle these as a leader in sustainability. So again, on behalf of the entire university community, thank you, thank you, thank you for your commitment, and also, perhaps more importantly, for your positive actions in these important efforts. And thank you certainly for inviting me to be part of today's celebration. And now I think it's my turn, if I'm not getting out ahead of my skis here, as I'm prone to do sometime. It's my pleasure to invite the Vice Chancellor for Research and Innovation, Susan Martinez, to the podium to also offer some remarks to you. Again, thank you and congratulations, and thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedules to be here today. Thank you much.
Well, thank you, Chancellor Jones. I'm delighted to be here today to share in this celebration. And as the Chancellor said, our research portfolio showcases the many, many brilliant minds we have here at the university. We know how to work across traditional academic silos to tackle those challenges, and achieving carbon neutrality is certainly one of those goals. Members of our research community are coming together to solve challenges our world is facing, helping us mitigate and adapt to climate change, transition to green energy, improve land and water stewardship, develop secure and sustainable agricultural practices for a better future, and shore up infrastructure with sustainable materials and methods. These are exciting times for research at Illinois, and iSEE is at the heart of so many of these projects that will make the world a better and more sustainable place for future generations. Since this is a celebration of campus sustainability efforts, I would also like to point out a specific research-related accomplishment that we can be proud of right now. Working in partnership with our facilities personnel across campus, our research community has won the top prize in the International Laboratory Freezer Challenge every year for the last 4 years. I don't know how we can empty any more freezers out, but we seem to find more and more each year. So our researchers are not only working on sustainability theory, they're also practicing it. And from a personal standpoint, I want to thank this community because you've been able to change my behavior. As you put these in front of the community, I hear it. I think it, I start making changes, I start changing my family, I start impacting this on my colleagues. I don't always get it quite right, but you're still out there, and that feedback has been really, really important to me. It makes it front of mind, so thank you for that. All of this is another tangible step toward reaching our iCAP goals, and just a terrific way to cement our leadership in this critical area for the future of our community and the future of our planets. Our iCAP goals were bold, and they were a huge reach, and it's great to see the progress that we've been making, and we still have a ways to go, and together we're going to get there, and that's really exciting. So thank you to everyone for the contributions you have made to making our campus a better and more sustainable place, and I know to the generations that are to come, that's very, very attractive to them as they reach out to call the University of Illinois their home, even if it's for a short period in their time. So thank you.
Okay, thank you, Vice Chancellor Martinez. So one of iSEE's primary goals this past year has been to advance towards zero waste by reducing the amount of waste generated and increasing the amount of waste diverted from landfills and incinerators. So plastic waste is one of our most challenging problems that we face as a society, and this is true for our campus community as well. Single-use plastic is ubiquitous on campus, showing up as containers and serveware for our beverages and food, and used extensively in our research labs, to name just a few applications. Last year, the Zero Waste iCAP team submitted a recommendation to the iCAP working group that iSEE publish a drinking water behavior survey to better understand drinking water preferences and why some individuals prefer bottled water over tap. The survey has been published, and we are at the beginning stages of circulating it campus-wide. So we encourage you to scan the QR code right there at the top of this slide, and feel free to share with your peers as well so that we can understand drinking water preferences and the behavior around using bottled water versus tap water. Also, we're excited to partner with the Department of Intercollegiate Athletics and the Coca-Cola Company recently to bring awareness to this problem and expand our recycling infrastructure through the Don't Waste campaign. So looking ahead, we will continue to work with facilities and services and other units across campus to develop policies and take actions that make it easier to opt out of using disposable packaging and to build a culture of reduce and reuse. In that vein, we're thrilled that Facilities and Services has hired a new zero waste coordinator this year to help advance these efforts.
Jen. Yes, we're very happy to have Daphne. Put your hand up. Daphne Hulse is our full-time zero waste coordinator now, joining our full-time transportation team and energy team. So this is very wonderful. Hi, everybody. I am Morgan White. I'm the Associate Director for Sustainability at Facilities and Services, and I'm the Interim Director of Capital Programs for this campus. One of our bigger projects that we've been working on at FNS is to find the best path for meeting the iCAP objective to get to 140,000 megawatt hours per year. See the 140,000? 140,000 megawatt hours per year of clean power for our campus. We currently have just over 50,000, and so that includes the on-campus solar farms, which are making about 25,000, and the off-campus wind agreement, which is giving us another about 25,000. So we still need another 90,000 megawatt hours to reach this particular iCAP objective. We're working with the Chicago campus and the system office, and also an external consultant to investigate options for how to do that. The 25,000 megawatt hours that we have use 75 acres of the campus property. So to try to get another 90,000 it's a tight fit if we try to do it on our campus. Plus the Chicago campus wants additional 90 is for us, and they need another 80,000 as well. Just for your own information, 1 megawatt hour, we're talking about 140,000 megawatt hours. One is the same as 1,000 kilowatt hours. If you look at your own power bill, you'll see the amount that you're using in kilowatt hours. My house uses about 1 megawatt hour per month. So that's one way of looking at it. Also, one of the big things that we can do, that all of you can do to support the clean energy transition and getting us to carbon neutral on the energy standpoint, is to conserve energy. So things that you can do, maybe there's times when you share a space with a colleague, a classmate or a colleague, and leave the lights off in another room. There's ways that you can set back your temperature, especially if you have control over your own thermostat. But it is good to work with your own facility person to manage that. Conserving energy is also something that you can do through the green certification programs.
Thanks, Morgan. As you all know, we have been working very diligently to increase awareness and our campus engagement efforts across the entire community. The Greener Campus certification programs is one example of an opportunity that each of you can take advantage of today. You can all sign up today to get your office, Greek chapter, or event certified as green. In the past year, we've awarded about 40 certifications to sustainable offices, Greek chapters, and a variety of events. You can all go on the iSEE website to not only see the list of all the certifications and the recipients, but you can also learn how you yourself can get certified green, acknowledging your own commitment to sustainability. It is a very simple process, and we have clearly outlined the actions with a guide to follow for you to get certified and to get recognized. Next, we would like to transition to each of the iCAP teams. So the iCAP teams are instrumental to the advancement of our Illinois Climate Action Plan objectives. We are incredibly thankful to each of the members of these iCAP teams, faculty, students, staff, and community members, for all of their creativity and hard work, which drives our progress. Each of these teams will come up and share some past, current, and future projects, and you will have an opportunity to talk with them and ask questions during the round table. So after the event, around 5 o'clock, each of the iCAP team representatives will have their own table for you to ask questions, provide your input and ideas. So we are first going to start with the energy team, and then we'll follow. So all the iCAP team members follow the order of the iCAP chapter. So we'll hear from energy, transportation, land and water, zero waste, education, engagement, and then resilience. So we'll start with energy.
Hello, we are the Energy iCAP team.
I'm Aman.
And I'm Martha. This is the chair, and I'm the vice chair of the team. So some past objectives and projects that we have, a lot of these are still continue today, but they're some past objectives, and we have some current objectives that we want to work on. So first is our LEED certifications. This is a voluntary program that the university participates in along with other schools around the nation. It basically measures how sustainable a building is. It looks at a variety of factors like energy efficiency and how safe the overall building is for occupants. There are 3 levels, platinum, gold, and silver. And we have a couple platinum buildings on campus, like the BIF, Lincoln Hall, and obviously we want to get all the buildings to this status. Then another project we have is this power plant carbon sequestration. It was an SSC funded project, and it basically looked at algae biodiesel production at Abbott Power Plant. It was a really cool project that we worked on. And then another big project that we are still continuing to do is retro-commissioning. So what this does is it looks at the analysis of a building's operating systems, like air conditioning, heating, and the purpose of this program is to maximize energy conservation. And we kind of looked at all the data from all the buildings that we've retro-commissioned, and we kind of averaged out a 75% savings for each building, which is a really big step in progress for overall campus energy.
As for the current objectives and projects that we have going on, there's a wind energy power purchase agreement that was signed in 2016, and it's going to go on till 2026. So it was for approximately 25,000 megawatt hours, as Morgan mentioned earlier, and this is approximately 5% of the total energy usage on campus. Another very student famous project that goes on every second Friday is the Illini Lights Out. It's a student-led initiative where a lot of students go around campus and turn off the lights for the weekend, and that saves and conserves a lot of energy as well. And the other ongoing objective that the university has been taken is the solar farm 1.0 and the 2.0, and it's also working on a 3.0 power purchase agreement, and that's something that's in work right now and is going to save a lot of energy and conserve a lot of energy for the future. As for the future objectives and projects, some of the goals that both of us have as chair and co-chair of the iCAP energy team is to establish stricter goals with improved accountability so that we have a clearer path and we set a better path for the future so that we can very quickly transition to a zero carbon future. The second thing that we wanted to highlight was a Green Labs committee so that we can integrate the iCAP objectives with the current research areas and research focuses on campus so that several research groups can integrate their ideas to create better solutions for the future. And in the upcoming working group meetings, we are in talks to discuss clean energy plans and also propose for energy efficiency in the new buildings that are developed on campus. So these are some of the upcoming objectives and projects that we are working on right now, and we would love to hear everybody's input on the same as well. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Next is the Transportation iCAP team.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Tyler Swanson. I am the clerk for the Transportation iCAP team. This is Sarthik Prasad. He is one of the chairs. You're the vice chair.
Vice chair.
Yes, for the Transportation iCAP team. Go on to the next slide to view our past objectives and projects. So the transportation team and partners with FNS a lot and is very busy. So some past projects we've done are studies and surveys to assess transportation practices, as well as collaborate with the Champaign-Urbana Mass Transit District to enhance mobility choices, improve infrastructure, promote sustainability, and improve connections between major urban centers on campus to ensure people don't need to use their car all the time and make sure they have a reliable system of transit alternative to a car. We've also evaluated the UIUC fleet vehicles and looked at opportunities to replace them with electric vehicles or other forms of clean mobility when possible. Prepared the 2022 Mode Choice Survey and the Walkability Audit. We provided support with that as well.
I can talk a little bit about the previous slide also. For the Mode Choice Survey that was just completed in spring of 2022, we found out that about 88% of our students use active modes of transportation. About 45% in total they use, 32, 31, and something like that. It's like, working on our active modes of transportation, it's very important. It's a critical thing for the university to provide a safe and sustainable mode of transportation to our faculty, students, and staff. Same thing with the walkability audit. Facilities and services conducted a thorough walkability audit of the campus, which found out that our campus is very walkable. There are several issues that we are currently working on, so look forward to hearing about that some more. Our current objectives are some of those are installing public use electric vehicle charging stations. We currently have 20 charging stations already installed, and as was mentioned in the 2018 EV Task Force, we would like to improve on our charging infrastructure and add more and more level 2 chargers. And next, going forward, we want to keep encouraging the bicycle use and improve safety through education, engineering, enforcement, and make it more equitable. Sure, go ahead. Talk about the fleet replacement plan.
I love talking about this plan because I'm very excited for it. So a big part of our goal this year is to decrease fleet emissions. And we're doing that by talking with a lot of the different vehicle fleets on campus to establish plans where they can sustainably and smartly, efficiently reduce their current internal combustion engine-based fleets and transition those to electric vehicle fleets or hybrids or some other form of cleaner transportation. We are currently in talks with the Prairie Research Institute, and we are looking at reaching out to at least one other big fleet on campus this semester. I think you've been a huge part of that project, and it's been very helpful, and that's going to be one of our big points this year. And we'll see where that goes, but we're very excited to do that. In terms of future objectives and goals, our big one that we're working on right now is to reduce net air travel emissions and also establish telecommuting policies. These are both things that have been helped significantly by the pandemic. You rarely hear that, but it's true in this case because, of course, we actually ended up, I think, achieving those air travel emission reductions. But now we're going to find a way to do it long term, and the same thing for establishing sustainable telecommuting policies. Anything else you want to add? Wonderful. Thank you all very much, and we'll move on to the... Oh, yeah, sorry, I almost forgot. We have a challenge for you. Bike to work or carpool with your car workers once this week if you've not already done so. It's a great way to get in the habit of reducing your transportation emissions. So if you have the chance to take a bus, come to work with a friend, or rent a Via ride if you don't already have your own bike, definitely take the opportunity to do that.
And if you're biking to work, please do that fairly sooner because it's going to get real cold.
Very good point, Sarthia. And we'll move on to the Land and Water team.
Hello, my name is Nikki Palella, and I'm the Land and Water Clerk.
And I'm Therese Egner. I'm one of the team members.
So, a past project that we'd like to showcase today is a project called Plantings at Dorder Drive Retention Pond. So this was completed just last year. It started from a Land and Water recommendation, and it was completed by FNS Grounds. The Dorner Drive Retention Pond is a pilot site for the conversion of low-mow areas to prairie vegetation. And the low-mow areas were designated with the intention of saving on fuel and gas, but what ended up happening was invasive plant species unexpectedly took over. So as a result, we found that by restoring the riparian area to a more natural state, we can provide a beautiful place for students to enjoy, we can create habitat structure for wildlife, and we can create connectivity between habitat patches as the site is adjacent to the Red Oak Rain Garden. So we have a map of the site. It's right by McKinley Health Center, so if you're ever in the area, you should stop by. This is a photo I took a couple weeks ago, and it looks really healthy. We have a bunch of warm season grasses that have taken really well to the soil. And lastly, we've included a conceptual design, which shows a combination of prairie seed mix and savanna woodland mix, which will provide heterogeneity in the habitat structure, so this will benefit wildlife. And this relates to Objective 4.2 from the Land and Water iCAP chapter to implement the Resilient Landscape Strategy recommendations, because the low-mow areas were well-intentioned, but they weren't self-sustaining. So we think that with this new approach, which includes native grasses, we can create a landscape that will stand the test of time.
And one of our current projects ties to the Campus Landscape Master Plan. The Landscape Master Plan is a vision for a resilient and multifunctional campus landscape, prioritizing ecological landscape, including environmental sustainability and biodiversity, such as planting natives and pollinator-friendly plants, while prioritizing the natural and cultural heritage, such as indigenous history. It has 14 campus-wide goals, many of which directly tie to iCAP Land and Water Objective 4.2, implement resilient landscape strategy by fiscal year 2024, creating campus landscapes that are sustainable, multifunctional, and beautiful. The Land and Water team is able to support the Campus Landscape Master Plan through recommendations.
So we are very excited to share with you a potential project on the horizon, which we've called Monarchs Need Milkweed. So we've included a snippet from NBC Chicago article, and this is from July of 2022. The highlighted portion says that the monarch butterfly, chosen in 1975 to be Illinois' state insect, fluttered a step closer to extinction Thursday, as scientists put the iconic orange and black insect on the endangered list because of its fast dwindling numbers. So we have a problem, which is that monarch butterfly populations are decreasing at never-before-seen rates, and our proposed solution, which is really just nature's solution, is common milkweed. So common milkweed is the only plant that monarch butterflies lay their eggs on, and it is the sole food source during the caterpillar stage. Without common milkweed, monarch butterflies cease to be. So what we're proposing on a recommendation that we're currently working on is that we plant common milkweed as well as other milkweed species all over campus so that we can support this endangered species. This relates to Objective 4.2.2 of the Land and Water iCAP chapter to increase the number of ground-level pollinator-friendly landscaping areas, because by planting various species of milkweed, not only will we support our Illinois state insect and our pollinator, we will support other pollinators. So this really is a win-win scenario, and we're hoping that this project takes flight. So, and
we have noticed many of our projects are repeating 1 to 2 objectives, focusing on goals such as pollinator-related items. We do have future aims, and we'll be addressing other objectives from the Land and Water iCAP chapter, including soil quality sampling, reducing potable water use, data collecting, and cover crop. Thank you.
Right, so hi everyone, I'm Nishant Garg. I'm an assistant professor in civil environmental engineering, and I'm leading the zero waste iCAP team with Shreya, and then we have a couple of our team members here. We're gonna sharing the slides. So I'm just gonna open it up, and here I'm just gonna ask you a question. I know there's many students in the audience. How much waste does our university produce on an yearly basis? Can you give me an idea on the idea of the scale? On tons, maybe? Hundreds of tons, yeah. So it's a little too high, but you're close. It's 5,000 tons. So this is the data for the past 3 years, and you can see we're around 5,000 tons. And then I guess 2020, there's a drop here. We all know why. If we look at the recycled waste, there's also a similar trend. But I think the very fascinating thing is if you plot this data now in the past 3 years, kind of on a monthly basis, you see, of course, the March and the May 2020, we have a huge drop in the waste because there was very few people on the campus, but this has picked up as people coming back to the campus. Now, if you add to this data also the recycled waste, I think one thing which is happening is really fascinating is in the past few quarters, the amount of recycling that is being done is steadily increasing, and that, as I'm told, is due to many different factors, including better communication, usage of the three recycling streams, as well as changing in the way how the waste transfer station handles the waste and sends it for recycling. So I think the goal here is that zero waste is still quite far away, but if we can really improve our recycling rates and reduce the landfill waste, we can actually make a difference. Okay, with that, I'm going to pass it on to Justin.
I'm Justin. I helped out on the reusable containers within the dining halls. So Dining Services has now implemented reusable containers in the dining halls. They are on semester number 3 of this program, and its goal is to reduce the waste, food waste, but also the material waste from single-use packaging. And this relates directly to Objective 5.4, which is promoting the food scrap reduction by fiscal year of 2022. There are more than over 2,000 containers that are currently being used across the 5 or 6 dining halls, and we're working to provide a recommendation so that we can better track some of this data and the usage going on. The program is now expanded to all the dining halls, and it's super cool to see the program going across the dining halls, but hopefully to expand elsewhere across campus as well in the future.
Okay, so a present project that we're working on is Grind to Energy. So all of our residence halls, they currently have a system in place in which, so they take their food waste and it gets grinded up and it's put into this 6,000 gallon bucket sort of gadget. and then once the tank gets full, a vendor is notified and a truck comes and it takes it to a sanitary facilitation, and which is put into an anaerobic digester, and then from that the methane is collected and it produces electricity to run their plant, so it's a full circulation. And it also fulfills Objective 5.2, which is to reduce our total landfill waste, and with this it's being utilized into something that can be used for electricity.
Athletics. This is an opportunity not only to engage students, faculty, and staff here, but also the larger Champaign-Urbana community and sports fans about our zero waste practices and principles. So to do this, we would like to establish a long-term strategy for recycling at events and tailgates. We would like to explore a bottom-up student-led approach and consider providing a zero waste athletics liaison to student and clubs. And lastly, we are coordinating a zero waste basketball game in light of America Recycles Day this November to build and strengthen our relationship with athletics and work through any logistical challenges of recycling at State Farm Center. Lastly, we have 3 primary challenges that we're working through.
The first is the perpetuated messaging about our waste stream, that facilities and services will sort through everything, including landfill waste. Second, we have a very transient population at the university, and some students, faculty, and staff who come to this university have not had past experience with recycling. And lastly, it remains a mystery to many people how the waste management process works here and what happens to waste and recycling after it's collected. So this is all to say that outreach and education will be very fundamental going forward.
All right, thank you very much. It's good to be here. So my name is Jessica. I'm the chair of the Education iCAP team.
Hi, I'm Grace. I'm just a team member.
All right, well, I guess we can get started. Yeah, our team is focused on a few things, and if you can go to the next slide. Oh, wait, we have it here. There we go. Yeah, so some of the past objectives and projects that our team have include an environmental leadership program, which was recently implemented. This was a program started in 2020, but it's a semester-long interactive program for undergraduate students, primarily, that includes a lot of professional workshops, speakers, and it has two primary components. There's a pre-professional component that includes these workshops, focuses on long-term career skills, focuses on networking, provides students the opportunity to network with professionals and gain these skills. And then one of the big components is to do with a trip to DC, trip to Springfield to engage in advocacy for environmental policies with our nation's leaders in these areas. So this includes developing a lot of skills such as mobilizing, communication, and just generally advocating for these programs and providing some ideas for topics and for progressing our sustainability progress, or progressing sustainability in our country and in our local communities. So it's an established program, but it's also considered an ongoing project because we're working on developing and improving this program for students in the future. Another one of our primary past actions includes creating a course list on our iSEE website, a course list for students, available to students to view, to understand what courses are available to them. It's a fairly comprehensive list of over 500 available sustainability courses to students with several topics of discussion or several topics of focus. But yes, it's also divided by semester, so students know what's available to them or what was available per semester. And it demonstrates what we already have in terms of sustainability course structure at our university. The way I see it, it definitely shows how much we already have available so that it's available to students and students can know what is available to them so that we can make use of what we already have existing at our university in terms of sustainability education. So some of our current projects, we have a few of these, and I would say one of the largest ones, most progressed ones, includes the Sustainability Gen Ed option proposal. And this is something that has been in the works for quite a while. It originated as an ISG, Illinois Student Government Resolution, to create a Sustainability Gen Ed standalone requirements. But this has progressed through a lot of drafting and through work with student groups, with iSEE, with past ISG members. We've created a separate proposal meant to go through the academic senate and eventually be passed as a binding proposal. But this Sustainability Gen Ed option proposal would be included within natural sciences, and it would be 3 credit hours that students can choose to take amongst the other required to fulfill their 6. So the progress of this, we have a lot of endorsements, and we have a student survey that has indicated about 91% of students agree it would have a positive impact on their education if they have this sustainability option. It also has a capacity analysis, course capacity, logistical analysis, and it would also progress us in terms of our STARS report, in terms of our progress that we want to make towards platinum status. And while we have high scores in every category, curriculum is one where we can really make some improvement. So this would be a proposal that brings our curriculum score up by way of exposing more students to our existing sustainability course structure and making sure that they can take advantage of what we already have, but also progress or encourage the creation of new sustainability courses to fulfill this requirement. Yes, recently we had a meeting with several college deans to gather feedback and to gather endorsements, make sure that we can move forward and have this be successful in the Senate. But we decided, based on some of this feedback, to develop this same proposal within social and behavioral sciences as well, so that we don't have to limit the definition of sustainability to just what is within natural sciences and technology. So that is the progress of this, and we are optimistic that next semester or the semester after, it will be brought forward as a proposal.
So another project that's in the works is sustainability in study abroad. So currently, a couple of programs already have this, where it's like in Granger or ACES. But as we might know, study abroad has a lot of emissions with it, with like travel, with planes. So the whole point of this program is to have students calculate their emissions, to plant trees, or to learn more about sustainability in the countries that they're studying abroad in, so that they're more aware of how studying abroad and traveling has an impact on the environment and how they can do better with reducing their emissions. So the next one is the Big Ten Green Career Fair. So this is based off of the All Ivy Environmental and Sustainable Development Career Fair. The main point of this is to have options for students who want to pursue a career in sustainability, or if this could also be, with current career fairs, maybe have a section that promotes sustainability that's blocked off for just companies that have positions open for sustainability. So this is still in the works. Another thing we're working on is a conversation with the business school and see what actions they're doing in terms of coursework, in terms of corporate sustainability, like workshops, I guess, because as we know, a lot of corporate, a lot of people in corporations, they don't really care too much about sustainability as they should. So a lot of it is trying to have the new people going into the corporate environments be aware of the sustainability and how their corporations can do better. Finally, we have sustainability training. So this would be similar to the diversity training that all the undergraduates are required to take. So it would be an online course that students would either be able to take optionally or that would be required, and they would have to learn more about sustainability on campus and how they can reduce emissions in their own lives. And finally, we have a challenge for you. So for all the students, what are you lacking in your sustainability education, and for everybody else?
Yeah, so we have a couple components to this challenge. We would like to hear from both students and faculty a little bit more about what they experience in terms of sustainability on campus, or sustainability within their education more specifically. But what we want to hear is, yes, this question for students as well as for faculty, people involved in their own courses, especially if you have a course highly pertaining to sustainability, or you have sustainability components within your course, your topics. What are some of the strategies that work best for you, or what are some of the strategies that you want to implement regarding sustainability, or to improve the educational progress or the educational experience for students and give them practical skills in sustainability for their long-term careers? So I want we want to do this to get an idea of what already exists on campus, what efforts are being done, which approaches in certain courses may be valuable in other courses, for instance, and how can we also support you as an education iCAP team. So yeah, that's our challenge, and thank you all for listening.
Hi, everybody. I'm Claire Keating. I'm the team clerk for the Engagement iCAP team.
I'm Mika Liu, just a student member.
Sophia Fox, also student member.
All right. So I just wanted to mention thank you for everybody that has come here. And although this is a relatively new chapter in the iCAP, I think the engagement aspect of sustainability on campus is so important because innovation can be there, but action and policy is so important to implement this innovative research practices we do on campus. So I'll go over our past projects. Again, although we're relatively new, we help to work on the Office of Student Sustainability, which basically hosts a bunch of other sub-communities, such as Bee Campus, Tree Campus, and essentially, it adheres with our objective of promoting student engagement and passion for sustainability on campus. So the Office of Student Sustainability sort of oversees a lot of sustainability programs. And again, it adheres to our overall culture of sustainability here on campus.
So for current projects, apologies for my voice, everyone. But for current projects, we have been actually working with an advertising capstone course, which is Advertising 498. And they kind of were working for the 8 weeks of the class to increase student awareness and give us recommendations as the engagement team on how to better do our advertising towards the campus, kind of focusing on faculty, students, and staff. And from them, we actually got amazing materials. Here you can see on the right here is just one example from one of the groups of kind of flyers we can put around campus. And their whole idea was trying to emphasize that like sustainability is something that people are kind of scared of because it's a large topic that maybe they don't know a lot about. But they wanted to highlight that it's as easy as flipping a light switch and stuff like that. And I think they were very appealing graphics that kind of caught our attention, and we really wanted to kind of share that with you guys. And it hits on Objective 7.1 of enhance the overall culture of sustainability on campus. And from this advertising class, we actually have been able to send out a recommendation to redo and kind of restructure the iCAP portal online to make it more engaging and easier to understand. And I believe that got approved, correct? Maybe? Yeah. In the works of getting approved. But we recommended that we hire a student graphic designer to kind of help and fix this whole online portal and make it a little more eye-catching from the students, staff, and faculty. So it's been a great time.
Yeah, so as for future projects, this is actually something we're writing a recommendation for, and it's just to get the DIA to join the Green Sports Alliance. And so this aligns with 7.3, which is to join the Green Sports Alliance. But not only will this increase the visibility of sustainability efforts, but also partner us or put us in contact with other Big Ten universities that are part of the Green Sports Alliance. And so this can foster collaboration and also just overall sustainability among, like on a university level.
Yeah, so I just also wanted to mention a lot of teams are working with the DIA this semester, and I think joining the Green Sports Alliance is sort of a symbolic take or head start to sustainability in athletics. I'm really looking forward to the fall sports, especially on November 14th. I think the Green Sports Alliance is an amazing initiative, and other universities out there are in that alliance, so we can be up there too. So we have a challenge, and it's something we think about a lot in our meetings. We have tons of colleges on this campus, and we have so many, I guess sometimes some of these colleges feel a bit siloed, and sometimes we can't seem to engage aspects of the university. So I ask you all to think about how can we foster a sustainability-minded community on campus? How can we get students, faculty, staff to think about the Institute of Sustainability, Energy, Environment when sustainability comes to mind? So I encourage you guys to really think about that idea of, you know, innovation is important, but how can we get people to stay active in these research projects? How can we get people to, how can this be accessible for us? So yeah, that's sort of our mission this year, and I look forward to working with all of you on campus. So, thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Helen and I'm a member of the Resilience iCAP team.
Hi everyone, I'm Asla and I'm a student clerk of the Resilience iCAP team.
So I'm just going to explain some of our success stories, stuff that we've been working on as a part of the Resilience team. So the first one of our objectives was Vision Zero. So what Vision Zero is, it's basically a kind of ideology. Rather than viewing traffic accidents and accidents as something that's inevitable, it's something that's preventable. So what Vision Zero is actually a strategy. It says that Vision Zero is a strategy to eliminate all traffic fatalities and severe injuries while increasing safe, healthy, equitable mobility for all. So basically, it's kind of a circular system. So basically, we have the road users that are responsible for following traffic rules, and then they analyze what the road users' behaviors are. And so based on if road users are making mistakes in like the traffic patterns, then they go to the policy and design systems, and they then go to see, oh, like what's wrong with the policy, what's wrong with the design and structure of the road, and then they go to policymakers, and then they go to people that are actually responsible for designing the roads to edit the road structure or to edit policies to make it so that traffic accidents don't happen, because traffic accidents are something that, it's not something that's inevitable, it's definitely something that's preventable. And honestly, a lot of times it's as easy as just adding an extra stop sign on a traffic light, or like an extra traffic light just to get people to actually stop where they're supposed to, because people might be missing a sign or something. And then another thing that we've been working on is our inventory green job certificates. So actually, like if you go to that website, before we didn't have like just a location where you could see all like the different possibilities for getting involved job-wise or just career-wise. And if you like go to that link, you see that there's so many different sustainability-related degree options. There's the ESCS major, but just in addition to that, there's like different civil environmental engineering options. Like just, I'm looking at the website right now. There's a Bachelor of Science in Design. There's an agricultural and consumer economics concentration in environmental economics. And it also goes down, and you could see different sort of job opportunities that are all related to sustainability. And we just have a website where it's all there in the link.
All right, so what are we currently working on? So we have really great projects, not just all these, but like these are some of the highlights of our projects. First of all, we have two really amazing renewable energy projects, solar and geothermal, which we all are renewable energy, sustainable energy that we all really like, at least I like. And these are really important. As a team, we are trying to make these two really great renewable energies more affordable, easy, cheap for our community, and we have had great progress so far. So for geothermal, it's fairly new. It's in its second year, but we have had 28 systems installed so far, and in total we have 118 geothermal capacity, which is great. And for the solar project, it has been going on since 2016, so it is pretty well known. And so far, we have had 302 systems installed with a total of 2,635 kilowatts of solar capacity. I believe it is really amazing, and these numbers are keep building up. It's growing, and that's what we want to see in our community: clean energy. And one important notice about these two projects is that for this year, just for this year, the enrollment deadline is October 31st. So if you would like to have your solar or geothermal energy for this year, you can go ahead and sign up at those links. But if you can't by the end of this month, just stay tuned, because these are annual run projects, so you can just stay tuned for next year, and then you can still have your geothermal or solar energy. So our other really great project is Biodiversity Plan, which is also one of our objectives, Objective 2, and I'm really excited for this one. This is basically for the enhancement and the preservation of our biodiversity in our community and metro area. And for that, currently we are working on having an urban biodiversity plan, and hopefully it will be done by August 2023, by next year. But for that, we need data. We need some survey, iNaturalist survey, and for that, we have a challenge for you guys. For all the students and even other people who's interested in biodiversity, or maybe experts in survey, taking pictures of species or any kind, we challenge you guys to get involved in this great project, and then just go out with us and then take pictures, collect data. If you want, you can help with the survey, iNaturalist survey, eBird survey too. So many great activities, and if you guys are interested, just go to iCAP portal. There's some information over there, or just come talk with us after the presentation, and we'll provide more information. But we need people, so please come join us. All right. Technology. I'm not good at technology. All right, and for the future projects. We have coordinated rainwater management plan, which is another objective 8.2. And this project has two main parts. First of all, we are working on collecting data for the green infrastructure projects and locations in our huge community. And for that, right now, our team is working with Illinois Extension and CSA and Great Lakes to Gulf Project to build up a website in which community members just log in and list their green infrastructure locations and projects for the greater community to take a look at what are the green infrastructure projects up there, and then maybe include their own, so we can basically show even the state and hopefully the nation that there are some green infrastructure projects going on, and hopefully this will inspire them to have their own green infrastructure projects. And the second important part is that, hopefully we will have a coordinated rainwater management plan. And for that, right now it's in its planning phase. Right now, we are having some thinking, we're having some planning for that, and we would like to really see the planning of coordination between these green infrastructure project locations and how can we really coordinate them and make a really great plan for the future.
And then our second thing is just the Champaign County Sustainability Network, or just CCNet, and the mission of this is basically just to get the community more involved in sustainability and just volunteer-related activities related to sustainability, and just some really cool things that they've done so far. They went on a visit to an aquaponics farm in the area, which is really cool. And for those of you that don't know what aquaponics are, literally don't feel bad. I didn't really know what it was either. It's basically they're growing fish in the farm, and then they use the fish like the fertilizer, because there's a lot of nutrients just from the process of growing fish, and they kind of like transfer that into like the plants that are also they're like growing. And so it's just kind of like this really cool circular system, like natural fertilizers that it helps the plants, it helps the fish, and I think it's like a really cool system. And just in addition to that, the CCNet has gone on just other really cool, just like solar farm tours. They explore energy efficiency together and just other sustainability projects across the community. And just that kind of relates to our challenge. So our challenge as the resilience team is just to get involved in all these local sustainability opportunities, volunteer for CCNet. There's so many different opportunities to get involved in, park districts, the Prairie Rivers Network. And so we're just challenging you guys to explore all these opportunities. Come to us if you're interested in learning more about them, and just get involved, tell your friends, and yeah, it's really easy. So that's our challenge.
Wow, so that's great. I mean, it's really exciting to hear about all these projects that are either past, underway, or looking ahead to the future. So I think we all have a lot to be proud of, and keep up the good work. So I'm continuously impressed by the efforts and results of the iCAP teams and look forward to the future projects. We're very appreciative of the dedication of our student groups in particular. We're so proud of our student leaders, several of whom are here to speak today. So I'm pleased to welcome Jack Reichertz, Chair of the Student Sustainability Committee and Co-President of the Student Sustainability Leadership Committee, and Maya Case, one of the 4 co-presidents of the SSLC.
How are we all doing tonight? Can I hear some more woos and yes? Sorry, I need that endorphin rush before I do any public speaking. All right, so as stated, my name is Jack Reichertz. I'm a senior pursuing a dual degree in civil and environmental engineering and natural resources and environmental sciences. For the past couple years, I've had the great pleasure of serving as the chair of the Student Sustainability Committee. So for those of you who might not be familiar, the Student Sustainability Committee is a group of 18 students as well as staff and faculty advisors that stewards the Illinois Green Fund. The Illinois Green Fund is totals around $1.47 million, and that's made up of 2 student fees, the Sustainable Campus Environment fee and the Cleaner Energy Technologies fee. Now, those fees just total $14 out of the pocket of every fee-paying student. But I've recently learned from one of our staff members who spoke with someone from ASHI, who we've talked about, they do the stars and all that, that is the largest green fund in American higher education to date. That's super exciting, and I have to say, as I would say, effective stewards of that fund, we've done a lot of really cool things just in the past few years. Many of you were present at the ribbon cutting on the campus instructional facility, where you got to see the very cool high-tech geothermal system that SSC contributed some funds to. A lot of you walk past the Red Oak Rain Garden every day. It's a beautiful reminder of our campus's commitment to sustainability and responsible stormwater management. In addition to those really cool big projects, some other cool things that we've done just in the past semester include co-hosting the Sustainability Grammys, which I'll let Maya talk about in a little more detail, but that was a really cool event. We had a super exciting project from Dr. Jessica Brinkworth that was designed to minimize and reduce plastic waste in a lab setting. So that's something that is gaining a lot of traction, and we constantly get students saying, how can I, reduce lab waste? So seeing some movement in that sphere was super awesome. Another critical upgrade that SSC was able to support was the replacement of fume hoods in Morrill Hall. That is, of course, reducing air quality issues, which are super important, but also contributing to significant energy efficiency gains. And finally, we also supported a sustainability mural project, which called upon artists in the community to create projects that actually showcased current sustainability efforts on campus. So all of these exciting things, and as I hope I've demonstrated, they vary a lot in size and scope. So one of the most exciting things about SSC is that we fund everything. Not everything, of course, but any kind of thing. No matter what discipline it's coming from or how big or small it is. But we're, of course, not content to rest on our laurels. So we're currently in the process of expanding our operational footprint on campus somewhat with the addition of a couple new staff positions. We are not only replacing a currently vacant staff position for SSC, but adding a new position on that is dedicated towards providing more resources to students on campus and also to educational and other engagement-oriented programming in sustainability. So that's really exciting. And of course, it'll cost a little more money, but the way we see it, when we invest in those staff people and that programming, we get kind of double bang for our buck. You know, we look at like a project like the solar car, which is something really cool that SSC has funded on an ongoing basis for several years. The students who participate in solar car take away a invaluable professional experience and a personal one for many of them. That's super exciting. We're happy to give them money to do that. But if we have an event showcasing that solar car, it also inspires other students to come up with similar projects and get involved with ones that already exist on campus. So the money spends twice in that sense. And we think it's really important to continually invest in those opportunities, so more staff on the way. Additionally, to support that, we're pursuing a small fee increase from $14 total to, we're increasing our 2 to 3 and our 1206 to 15. So you do the math, $18 instead of $14. So for additional $4, we're talking about hundreds of thousands of extra dollars to support more staff, more programming, and most importantly, more awesome projects. Those projects, of course, are getting more expensive too, but definitely more awesome projects. To facilitate that, we held a student referendum last semester, and we're really excited to see that a large majority of students were in favor of not only renewing our current fees, but increasing them as well. So that was super exciting. But what I was even more excited to see was that in just a few short days, we were able to get hundreds of students and staff and faculty to sign our petition advocating for this fee increase. I think it just goes to show that the reach of SSC on campus and the resources that we have are really something that we should not take for granted. So we're really grateful for that support. And in light of that support, we're increasingly focused on strengthening our ties to other campus groups and continuing to provide the same resources that we have provided for the past going on 20 years now, I believe, on campus. So we're very grateful to you all, and we're excited to see what projects are coming up in this and coming semesters. And of course, to continue fostering that culture of sustainability and innovation that makes our campus so great. Thanks.
Hello, my name is Maya. I am one of the 4 co-presidents of the Student Sustainability Leadership Council, along with Jack and Owen and Danica, who are also here. So kind of what is the SSLC? We are a hub for environmental student groups on campus, and we kind of try to facilitate communication and collaboration amongst them, as well as kind of act as a middleman between students and campus leadership. So we act as representatives on various campus committee meetings. And every month we host a general meeting with all of our constituents, and we have representatives from all of the student groups, or not all, but a lot of student groups on campus come and talk about, you know, how we can improve sustainability on campus, what they've been working on, and how we can provide resources to them. Kind of currently, we've been working a lot on helping host Campus Sustainability Month, so you might have seen Green Quad Day or the Tuesday talks that are happening right now. We also have a Sustainability Research Symposium coming up, as well as a few more Tuesday talks. There's one tomorrow, if you guys are interested. We've also been working a lot on recruitment and trying to get more student groups involved from all sides of campus. And then in the future, we are always looking to figure out ways that we can retain our membership and always get more membership as well. Really trying to broaden our reach and the student groups that are having a voice on campus. We believe that students are the future of our campus and are providing a lot of the innovation on campus. And we really want those students to have a voice at the table. And so we want to give those students that opportunity to speak about what issues of campus sustainability they feel are important. We'll also be helping host Earth Month in the future with events like Green Pod Day again, Tuesday Talks, as well as the Sustainability Grammys, which we hosted with iSEE last year, to really highlight the work that students are doing on campus and how we can celebrate them. And then we are also looking to talk and set up more consistent meetings with campus leadership and how we can partner in the future, as well as looking at how we can collaborate with local community organizations like Prairie River Networks, and just trying to boost local sustainability efforts as a whole. But yes, we would love to talk with you all, and if you ever need a platform to talk about an issue or to talk to student representatives across campus, we would love to get in touch. So thank you.
Thank you, Jack and Maya. So, as you have seen and heard, we have a lot to celebrate and appreciate. Thank you once again for coming today and for your participation throughout the year. We can't and won't stop here. We look forward to seeing you at the other Campus Sustainability Month events. Let's see. And we're now going to head into the lobby and atrium, where the iCAP teams will each have a round table for you to ask questions and discuss comments. So several student groups also have tables to provide information about their organizations. Thank you again, and we look forward to continuing the conversation during the reception. Thanks.